Then, surrender is really about purifying our consciousness, clearing the circuits for the flow of divine love. It's literally an internal house cleaning that allows love to flow more fully. And that means divine inspiration and all of that good that we're seeking. Surrender is giving up all the fixing, figuring out, managing, and controlling, which are all bound in fear. These things come from fear, thinking we have to fix it, figure it out, manage it, or control it. And it's also the realization that the will of God is the same as the nature of God. I thank Ernest Holmes for this because I know when I first heard this, I went, oh, yeah. So why, the old idea that, oh, I'm suffering because it's the will of God. No, that is a misconception here. No, the will of God is, if you think about this nature of the divine, infinite good, all peace, all love, all power, all potentiality and possibility, and that this presence is omnipresent. So that means this presence resides in us, through us, as us. So, how could something that is everywhere, all encompassing, want to destroy itself or cause harm to itself or make itself suffer? So, when you think about it, that doesn't even make sense. So, the will of God is the same as the nature of God is really key for us to surrender. When we get that, it's easier to surrender, let go, and trust. The other piece, let's take a moment with that one because there is a way, there is a part of that that sometimes calls upon us to deepen our faith. And maybe we feel like our faith is a little shaky on something. And so how do we surrender when we're feeling ourselves to be stuck in the fight or flight response? There's a little prayer here that I think is so powerful. It's, I call upon my faith to help me let go and to allow life to happen perfectly through and for me. I'm going to ask you to think about something in this moment, some area of your life where you'd like more faith. And just repeat this after me, and I'll do it in little chunks. I call upon my faith to help let go and allow life to happen perfectly through me and for me. So a simple prayer, again, this is using the power, the creative power of our mind to activate this thing called faith. And we do already have a full measure because we're whole, perfect, and complete beings. We have the full measure of faith within us. All we need to do is call upon it. The final thing about surrender is this, is that we must surrender the who, what, when, where, and how it will happen. So really our job is to think about what we want like Moana did. I am Moana of Matanui, right? She said, you will board my boat. She's practicing for Maui boarding. You will board my boat and restore the heart to Te Fiti. She kept this mantra going throughout the entire movie just about. And so she had to surrender who, what, when, where, how it would happen and just simply focus on what it is that she desired. And when we focus on what we desire in that way, we feel good. That's kind of the second part, is to keep our vibration up, to feel good about where we're going, what we're doing, the present moment, actually. And the third part of it is to let go and surrender. Again, let go, surrender the who, what, when, where, and how it will happen. So, how can we apply this to the care of our planet? Well, I know, I talk to my daughter often, who is very, very. She works for Ashland Nature Center, and she's very, very deeply concerned about the planet and where it's going. Um, she and I've had talks about this, about how if we get too much into fear about it, that we become of no use to the planet or to anyone else. And yet, it is important to take action. So that's why this thing called trust and faith and vision are so important, to stay vision centered and to surrender and to know that we are guided in what is ours to do. This applies to ourselves, this applies to the care of our planet, this applies to everything that we do in life. So, what I'd like to do now is to give us an opportunity to experience this thing called surrender. I have a beautiful little exercise I'd like you to practice. So, if you would, I invite you to turn yourselves inward and focus on your heart. Close your eyes and begin to breathe deeply and slowly in, through, and as the heart, allowing the body to relax. So it can be very helpful to put both feet on the floor, to allow the ground to support you, to allow your chair to support you. And continue to breathe in and out of the heart very slowly and deeply. We're activating the heart center just by putting our attention on it. We're activating that center of love, that center of wisdom. And now imagine yourself standing in the heart center at an altar, a beautiful altar. And that altar, I'm going to invite you to decorate with flowers, with candles, with sacred objects, whatever pleases you. And now I'd like you to see the radiance. It can be a golden light, it can be just a more luminous aspect of yourself, standing on the other side of the altar. This is your true self, your high self, the God self, the divine. And feel the unconditional love emanating from that presence that you are in truth. Allow it to fill your heart with love and acceptance and the awareness of unlimited support. And then notice at your feet are rocks the size of baseballs, each one representing all of the areas in your life where there is struggle, where there is strife, where there is suffering, anything that you find yourself attached to. And I invite you to pick up a rock. Pick up just one of the rocks, hold it up, and ask yourself, what does this represent to me? I want you to let go of trying to fix it or control it and simply notice what it is. What is it that you're clinging on to that's preventing you from being completely and totally present? And now I invite you to surrender it. Put it on the altar. And let your personal inner divine do the heavy lifting. And now say, in the silence of your mind, I give this over in full surrender. I place this in the care of the divine. Take a breath. And I invite you to take at least one more rock or two. Do the same thing. Ask what it represents and surrender it to the altar, to the care of the divine. Remember to breathe. I invite you just to complete whatever you are working on. And notice that you might feel a little lighter, a little freer, a little more open to the flow of love. And so when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. Maybe rotate your hands a little bit, move your feet and legs, come back. Bring that beautiful consciousness back with you. We don't want to leave it behind. And so as we restore the love flow in our own hearts, it really begins within. As we restore this, as we clear our circuits through surrenders, we restore the flow of love. We come from this place that's called overflow, which means we're more available to care for each other, to care for our community, to care for our planet, to care for all of life. And so to me, that is the power of surrender. And to that I say, and so it is.
I thought I had such a projecting voice, but I guess not. Just take whatever you want. One of each color. We have two types of stones that the earth has given us as a gift.
Thank you.
Each bowl has a different type of stone in it. You only need one paper because the descriptions of the stones are on the one paper. Just take one from each bowl. Just one from that. Yeah, just one from that bowl. And then, Lucinda, I think people over here need some from that bowl. You can just pass it down. Just one from each bowl.
Did you guys get one?
We did, thank you.
Not from Brian.
Uh,
You all right?
What did you not?